Hi guys and welcome to another edition of General Jerry Channel. David Haye knocks out Mori in the first round. A rapturous return by David Haye. The first time he has returned to the ring in 3.5 years. And he knocks the fuck out of Mark in the first round. Everybody said to me, who would really care about this fight? I mean, it's on Dave TV. Nobody gives a damn. I just want to say this. I was a big David Haye fan. I liked him, when he was boxing. Definitely very entertaining, showboating and getting into his opponent's head. Something that we kind of lacked a little bit in boxing. And, David Haye right now, it is only just seen it right there. He just knocked him out. The first round, we're just having a wee look at it right now. Oh my god, he just beats the living shit out of him. He gets knocked the fuck out. He doesn't even have a chance. He doesn't even have a chance, ladies and gentlemen. Not even a goddamn chance. Look at that there. Look at his ridiculous hair as well. What type of braid shit is that? You know what I mean? But yes, David Haye knocks him out in the first round. It does beg the question. A lot of people had questions about David Haye returning to the ring. A lot of people said, does this guy still have it? He hasn't been in the ring for 3.5 years. There's a big question to this. And, David Haye answered back. He fucking knocked this guy out in the first round. And, it's probably the first time I've seen a knockout in a while because I watched several fights, before, and it always went the distance, and he just knocked him out in the first round. So, David Haye definitely eyeing Tyson Fury right now. Whenever Tyson Fury defeated Klitschko, David Haye, he had that glitter in his eyes, like, motherfucker, I want that belt! I want that belt! That's what he wants right now. David Haye, he's got that glimmer in his eye. He's saying, Tyson, maybe me and you have a fight, have a wee match, and it's really good to see because I think the heavyweight division, in terms of Europe right now is fantastic. I mean, that heavyweight division is packed full of fucking talent. You got Tyson Fury, Klitschko, and now you've got David Haye as well as many, 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 many others. And I'm really looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to this heavyweight division and how it's gonna pan out. Because I always cover professional wrestling, but, I'm always a big fan of boxing. I did cover Mayweather, when it happened, the Mayweather-Pacquiao. I might cover Pacquiao as well, if people seem to like this video. If you really enjoyed it, put a like on it, subscribe. I'm going to be covering all, big fights that, usually I would see, or shit like that. I'm also doing a Super Bowl hangout in February when the Super Bowl happens as well. But, back to David Haye, I fucking love this fight. He knocked him out in the first round. Nice, clean, easy. He knocked him out like a fucking sack of potatoes. And, David Haye's back, baby. David Haye's back, and he doesn't give a fuck what anyone thinks. His opponent, like, I seen his opponent, he lost, like, one fight. I think it was, like, 2 draws or some shit like that. He was no pushover. I mean, he was a former heavyweight champion. But he got knocked the fuck out the first round. David Haye obliterated him. And, I'm a big fan of free boxing on TV. I'm a big fan of this because, and they're now embracing right now, good sportsmanship there. And, David Haye, I think I'm really looking forward to him and his fights in the future. He definitely does get the crowd going. It was a packed arena in the O2 Arena in London. And, obviously we got others, Benedict Cumberbatch there. I fucking love him in Sherlock. But anyway, that's besides the point. He's actually playing Doctor Strange, but anyway. I just think David Haye, he's a fantastic boxer. There was this one fight, though, I seen. I think he lost, and he said that he injured his toe. I was like, what the fuck is this bullshit? But, David Haye, I think he's back. I'm really looking forward to him fighting. I really am looking forward to him fighting in the future. And, there's not really much I can say. He knocked the fucker out in the first round. And I will tell you what, he got knocked out, but he's still standing taking a photo there, posing. taking them fucking selfies. I don't know what the fuck's going on there, but you know, I feel sorry for this guy Mark Mori. You know, going in here in the O2 Arena, everyone booing him and shit, and getting knocked out in the first round. You know, I really do feel sorry and really do feel for the guy, but you know, at the end of the day, David Haye is the main man. You know, he will be eyeing up Tyson Fury in the future, and I'm really looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to fights. You know what I mean? Because you know, it's really good because I keep watching professional wrestling and shit, and it's time to watch some real shit, motherfuckers. Time to watch some real shit. You know what I mean? I'm getting fired up on this Carlsberg. You know what I mean? I fucking love this. You know, but I prefer drinking out of the can. You know what I mean? But let me tell you something. David Haye, absolute legend, and very good coverage by Dave. I'm a big fan of this free TV, you know what I mean? Because you always have to fucking pay for it on Sky and shit. Those UK fans, you'll know what I mean. You have to pay for Sky and all that bullshit. You know, I know that more than anyone with professional wrestling, literally paying to see Raw. But, you know, David Haye, absolutely fantastic. Great fighting. And, you know, he knocks the guy out in the first round. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Let me know what you think of the coverage right now in the comments below. This is General Jerry on the General Jerry channel. Signing out.